course, you haven't seen this on the news, but effective September 27th, 2024, the Department of Defense put out a DoD Directive 5240.01. DoD intelligence and intelligence-related activities and defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. And they don't care about stupid things like posse comitatus. In case you're not familiar with posse comitatus, most Americans aren't. But posse comitatus made it illegal for the military to actually step in and mess around with domestic law enforcement in the United States of America. It's a 143-year-old law. It embodies an American tradition that sees military interference in civilian affairs as a threat to both democracy and personal liberty. However, recent events have revealed dangerous gaps in the law's coverage that Congress must address. There's a lot of words because they love words because they don't write these things. They have people do it for them. But I'm going to leave a link for it. We'll see if it stays or goes. But you want to go all the way down to Directive 3.3. 3.3. Where's it at? General principles, defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies, and other. I don't even know what that means. Civil authorities. Let's go down right here and see what it says. Levels of authority. Subject to paragraph 3.1, defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency when lives are in danger. The Secretary of Defense may approve any type of requested permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2. The decision to approve requests for these type of permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2 to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities are reserved to the Secretary of Defense. Provision of personnel to support response efforts for civil disturbances, which may also require presidential authorization. DoD response to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. Assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality, or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. So, if law enforcement are reasonably anticipating that civilian individuals or groups are going to show up, they can call on the military, and military can now use lethal force, including death. Because what fun is lethal force if you don't die? It's kind of ridiculous that that's in a government document, but it is what it is. Provision or use of DoD unmanned systems in the United States, except as delegated by the Secretary of Defense. So they're talking Predator drones. That's what unmanned defense is, okay? Little decoder ring for you. For matters not reserved to the Secretary of Defense in paragraph 3.3.A. Whatever 2, the decision to approve requests of this type of permissible assistance described in paragraph to blah, 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 blah. Here's the deal. Number of requested personnel exceeds 20 people. The duration of the requested assistance exceeds 30 days. Yeah. So, with over 1 million people with badges and guns actively in the United States, and bear in mind, that number is not accurate. That's the number they're giving you. Do you have any clue how many how many law enforcement officers are in the United States that are under the black budget, etc.? Yeah, but we've already got 1 million of them. And apparently now we need the military to be able to step in, walk right over posse comitatus, 143-year-old law, and now the military can step in at any given time. The excuse is going to be, ready for it? This channel right here, called Wolves and Finance, It has a narrator who sounds a little effeminate, but I'm not going to hold that against him. But to watch this video, you have to click on a this has got a parental advisory or whatever. But this is all new footage straight up from the White House on January 6th that literally shows everything that they're claiming didn't happen at all. None of it. If you want to be an American and you want to understand what's going on, watch this video. 38 minutes. It will show you with cameras, footage, and people that were there talking about both sides of the fence. It shows that everything the news said wasn't real. And I just find the timing incredibly unbelievable that just yesterday they were talking about FEMA, a federal agency, being hunted by civilians. That's what we call the setup. That's the setup. This is the pitch. So if you don't think these guys are pushing for civil war, we knew this was coming. It's a thing called Agenda 2030, all right? Project 2025, that's just smoke and mirrors. Don't even listen to it. This is worldwide. Do you think that all of a sudden the entire world is suddenly have a problem where all their governments just lost their minds, opened the borders, and flooding the country with people that don't belong there no matter what? It's a plan, and it's happening. Their motto is Order Ab Chao. It's Latin, and it means order out of chaos. And that's where we're at right now. But ask yourself, this was effective on September 27th, 2024. How come you haven't seen it on the news? It's a big deal. When the United States military is suddenly authorized to be called up by the local police because they anticipate a clash with groups. Oh, these guys don't vote the same way. Do you see what they've done to voting? They've absolutely weaponized it. And the funniest part of the whole thing is both people you're voting for are completely and totally tied to the people that are pulling all this. Okay? That's all there is to it.